mynews.studio.
Dubai's desert skyline lit up as nearly 200 nations reached an agreement. This time, they pledged to transition away from fossil fuels. What finally shifted the balance?
Today is 2025-10-31. Let's unpack what happened at COP28. For years, climate talks have sidestepped fossil fuels. So, why did this summit in Dubai produce a breakthrough where others did not?
It's really a mix of urgency and pressure. The scale of the climate crisis, record heat, wildfires, floods, has become impossible to ignore. Negotiators worked through the night, and for the first time, nearly 200 countries agreed to move away from fossil fuel energy. Not just cutting emissions, but moving away from the fuels themselves.
The wording matters here. The final agreement doesn't say phase out or phase down, which some countries wanted. Instead, it talks about a just, orderly, and equitable transition away from fossil fuels. Does that make the agreement less ambitious?
It's less forceful, yes, but still significant. The UN had never directly named fossil fuels as something we need to leave behind. Now, there's a shared goal, net zero emissions by 2050. The plan includes tripling renewable energy and doubling energy efficiency by 2030.
How are countries expected to hit those targets? Are there actual tools or policies in the agreement?
Yes, there are. The agreement encourages countries to set national goals for renewables and efficiency, to phase down coal more quickly, and to expand zero and low-carbon fuels. There's also an emphasis on helping developing countries with finance, technology, and training.
That's the Loss and Damage Fund, right? How much has been pledged and who's contributing?
So far, initial pledges are over $700 million. The fund is designed to help the most vulnerable countries manage climate impacts. But the overall need is far larger. Estimates suggest about $4.5 trillion per year will be needed for the clean energy transition in the coming decade.
Where is that scale of funding supposed to come from? Governments can't provide it all.
Exactly. The private sector is essential here. The agreement mentions public-private partnerships, blended finance, and tax incentives for clean energy. The goal is to bring in trillions of dollars in investment, not just government money.
But there's a caveat. The agreement allows continued fossil fuel use if carbon capture technology is used. Isn't that a loophole?
That's a real concern. Countries can keep burning fossil fuels if they capture and store the emissions. Critics warn this could slow down the transition to renewables unless it's carefully regulated.
And there's no enforcement mechanism. So what keeps countries on track? Is it just peer pressure and public scrutiny?
That's right. The main lever is transparency. Countries are required to update their climate plans by 2025. Progress will be reviewed, but there aren't legal penalties for falling short.
So, does this really mark the start of the end for fossil fuels? Or is it just another promise?
It's the strongest signal so far, but it all depends on action, whether governments deliver and whether finance scales up fast enough.
Billions of lives and the planet's stability are at stake. Is this agreement enough?
That's the big question. The world now has a roadmap, but the real journey is just beginning.
Governments, industries, and citizens everywhere are watching. Thanks for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it out for free.